What's going on, everybody? Liam O'Reilly, Vermont Economic Realtor. Hope you're doing well. I'm with Jerry Riley Real Estate. I have to say that at the beginning of each video. Talking today about the Redfin housing market update. We're also going to look at some articles out of Yahoo. One of the articles talks about the difference in zip codes, what's going on in prices in different states, as well as different zip codes within those states. We're also going to look at Opendoor, see what's going on there. Opendoor bought. If you don't know, Opendoor is an iBuyer who bought a lot of single-family homes over the past few years in 2020 leading into 2022, and then as prices have come down in various cities, they've been hit pretty hard. So really, it's really important to understand where you are purchasing, to know your market, to have a great realtor who knows what they're doing in that market. Because if you're shopping in California, it's going to be way different than Vermont, where I'm at, and that's going to be way different than Tennessee and these other markets. So let's get right into it. We're actually going to start off with this article here out of Yahoo. Things are getting really weird in the housing market. So this is the article that I mentioned that talks about what's going on in different zip codes. So you look at 1,500 zip codes in New York. About 50% of them saw home prices increase in between December 2022 and March 2023. And then about 50% of homes saw prices decrease during that same 3-month period. So depending on what zip code you're in New York, home prices could be going up or could be going down. Now, if we look at Tennessee, 83% of properties saw home prices increase between December 2022 and March 2023. And then look at California. Only 6.7% of zip codes saw home prices increase between December 2022 and March 2023. So it definitely seems like prices are trending down in California. But again, it's very nuanced, as we're going to see later on in this video when we get into the Redfin housing market stats. Even if home prices are decreasing, it doesn't mean that the market isn't competitive. All right, going over to the Opendoor story. Western housing market recession hits so hard and fast that a Fortune 500 firm that was riding at a $34 per share price has crashed to $1. And of course, they're talking about Opendoor here. Opendoor was an iBuyer. They bought a ton of single family homes, a lot of times sight unseen. They would sometimes buy up neighborhoods. And just this story illustrates what's going on. They're talking about a 3-bedroom home in North Las Vegas. Back in April of 2022, Opendoor bought the home for $420,000. The company flipped it back onto the market for $480,000. And by the time the home sold in January of 2023, they only fetched $346,000. Now, this is where, again, having a realtor who knows what they're doing, who's familiar with the market, is really going to come in handy. In this article, they talk about, and all these articles are in the description, by the way, but in this article, they talk about how Opendoor is desperate to sell, right? The company is going down. They're losing a ton of money on these homes that they bought at 2022 when a lot of these markets were peaking out, and now are selling them for a loss. So they talk about the negotiations that these buyers agents are doing with when they have deals with Opendoor, and they're really pressing hard to get their buyers the lowest price possible, because unlike a traditional home seller that maybe they're moving, or maybe they have to move for a job, but maybe they just want to downsize, or maybe they would like to upgrade to another place. So at the end of the day, they have a bottom line and they want to get their price. Opendoor, of course, is going to have a bottom line as well. But at the end of the day, if they're not getting offers at a certain point, they just got to unload the property. They got to get this asset off of their books, and they got to recoup some of that capital for their shareholders and to keep their company afloat. So if you're in one of these markets, be sure you're working with an agent who is knowledgeable and knows what they're doing as far as negotiating, and who is familiar with the dynamics between Opendoor. If you need help finding someone like that, reach out to me. Opendoor is not in my market, but I'd be happy to find you an agent who knows what they're doing in whatever market you're looking in. Moving back to the Redfin housing market update, our third article of the video. Housing market update. Home prices dropped by 3%, but monthly housing payments hit a record high as mortgage rates tick up, right? So an average of $2,500 with a 6.39% mortgage rate. This has to do with home prices being high and mortgage rates ticking up. Although prices have declined slightly year over year, the home payment is still drastically higher. So, right, new listings are down. Now, what I really wanted to highlight is this Redfin agent out of California. If you remember from a few minutes ago, California is one of those markets where 93% of the zip codes in California saw home prices decline. So they don't say how much they declined, but prices declined. Now, listen to this story from this Redfin agent in Los Angeles. I listed a 3-bedroom home that needed work in a desirable part of Long Beach. It was listed at 1.3 million, got 17 offers, and sold for 1.5 million. My advice for today's buyers is to look for a home you love, not an investment. And she goes on to give her advice, her personal opinion about the market. But really, the important part is even in the markets where home prices are declining, presumably Long Beach is one of those zip codes. I mean, if we're just going by the odds are it is. They're still getting multiple offers, even for homes that need a lot of work. It is, I mean, it is very competitive out there. And, I think we're really seeing that in the inventory across the country. Obviously, here in Vermont, I've talked about it extensively. Vermont needs more housing. We've needed more housing for so long. But other parts of the country are on the same boat. Other parts of the country need more housing desperately, even parts of the country that built out, that are pretty well built out, like Long Beach. And we're seeing that in the price stabilization, right? If mortgage rates are high and the monthly payment is high, people are paying more per month for their home, you would expect prices to decline. But because there's not enough inventory, people are just paying the higher prices and home prices are staying elevated. I think the fact that home prices aren't collapsing nationally is a sign that, nationally speaking, we are low on inventory. So now let's get into the rest of this article. What I really wanted to highlight here is, obviously the median home price down year over year, but still trending upwards. We've talked about this in other videos, but look at what's going on with active listings. So new listings are trending up, but you can see way down, 20% down year over year. Now here we go. Active listings of homes for sale. They were up pretty significantly over last year. They were up over 2021 as well, but now they've dipped below 2021 levels and are headed towards 2022 levels. Now, if you remember 2022, basically any home that hit the market was getting snatched up like that. It's still pretty much the case right now in 2023, but we had more inventory on the market. It's almost as if buyers were waiting until spring, waiting to see what would happen, waiting to see what the Federal Reserve is going to do. Are rates going down? Are they going up? Are we going to enter into a recession? And now that the spring market's here, now that more listings are hitting the market, people are realizing that, at least in the near term, unless something drastic happens, like more bank collapses, and not that I think that everything is rosy with the economy. I think there are some fundamental, underlying issues that are a little concerning about the economy, especially as the Federal Reserve continues to hike rates. But with the overall housing market, buyers are jumping in and they're not waiting any longer. And some of those active listings that were sitting on the market are getting snatched up. And that's why we're seeing not only new listings down year over year, but active listings are way down, which is not a good sign. I mean, if active listings continue to drop, we're just going to continue to see prices first stabilize nationally and then rise, especially in the markets where prices have risen recently. I know here in Vermont, I just submitted an offer on a property that was listed for $250,000. There were 20 offers on it. I'm sure it's going to go for well over $100,000 over what they had it listed for. And almost every offer I'm submitting is a multiple offer situation. So it's still very competitive. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the description. All my contact information is in the description. Feel free to reach out if you're looking to buy or sell a home, either in Vermont or in another part of the country. I'd be happy to help you either way. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.